Death is inevitable in video games, and sometimes those deaths can be shocking, nerve-wracking, and occasionally flat-out frustrating. Those frustrating deaths go hand in hand with the list that we're talking about today, the top 10 dumbest ways to die in video games. Some of the deaths on this list are ones that you can witness through the gameplay, but the majority are ones that the player themselves can experience firsthand. So let's jump right in. And at number 10 is Until Dawn, Jessica's Deaths. Until Dawn is a game where your decisions affect whether or not you'll be able to keep the whole cast of characters alive to the end of the game, or just some of them, or kill off all of them. It really depends on what you choose. That whole butterfly effect thing is in full force here. And most of the deaths in the game are pretty brutal. Considering it's a horror game, it makes sense. Surprisingly, a lot of these deaths include being decapitated. Most of the teens you control in the game are kinda dumb when it comes to making decisions too, with a few exceptions. But now onto our focus, which is Jessica. She's a special character. Not only is she the stereotypical blonde bimbo, but pretty much anything you do with her leads to her dying and getting her jaw ripped off. You got chased through the forest by a mysterious creature? Yeah, sure, she's still down to have sex with Mike, but not actually, because she doesn't end up having sex with Mike no matter how hard you try. And then she just gets dragged away by a Wendigo before anything can happen, and then she eventually gets her jaw ripped off, if you don't play your cards right, which is most of the time. She's like the character that everyone ends up getting killed. And also for this game, honorable mention to moving the controller at any point in the game when you're told to stand still and dying because of it. Literally, if you just let it vibrate on its own, it will kill you. And at number 9 is Impalement in Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the 2013 one. Throughout this game, you'll occasionally encounter rapids, which can have pretty dire consequences if you get washed away by them. And one dire consequence specifically, brutal impalement. This one makes the list for just being over the top with the ridiculous way that Lara meets her end. Harsh. Also, another honorable mention, death by wolves. These little can ruin your gameplay right off the top if you don't figure out how to end them first. It seriously left me stuck for like an hour. It was really embarrassing. And at number 8 is EARTHWORM JIM, the falling cow. So while this isn't a death that the player can experience mid-game, it's a death that is A, still a dumb way to die, and B, makes the whole plot of the game, well, kind of inconsequential. So after you save the princess at the end of this EARTHWORM JIM game, a cow falls on her, killing her. And if being hit by a cow didn't actually kill her, the rocky ledge they're situated on breaks, falling into the lava below. So like, she's definitely dead. And it also kills the cow! And it makes all of your hard work for nothing. Frustrating or comic genius? You guys tell me. And hey, at least Jim got a shiny crown out of it. And at number 7 is Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Yoshi eating you. Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out in 2008 for the Wii, and similar to other Smash Bros. Games, each character has their own unique moveset. Yoshi's special attack in this game is to literally eat you, and then immediately poop you out as an egg. While this doesn't entirely kill you, it can definitely finish you off if the circumstances are right, and leave you disgruntled that you got beat by a dinosaur's digestive tract. Not even gonna question the scientific repercussions there. And at 6 is Left 4 Dead 2, falling off a ledge. Now this can be applicable to pretty much any Left 4 Dead game, but we're focusing specifically on 2 here. So gravity can be a bitch. In Left 4 Dead, it's possible to fall to your death while trying to avoid being killed by zombies, and if your teammates can't help you, or they get knocked off a ledge themselves, it leaves you susceptible to being attacked by a zombie while you hang on for dear life. And at number 5 is Death by Guards from the Elder Scrolls games. And in particular, we're looking at Skyrim here, because it tends to be the most ludicrous. Ever accidentally shout and send a guard flying? I can never go back to Markarth for this reason. All the guards want me dead, and it's just not fun. So it doesn't help if you try to defend yourself either. The more you fight it, the worse it gets in terms of guards on your ass and your charge. So it's best to just bribe them. That is, if your speech skill is advanced enough to do that, and end it there. Or face a likely death by guys who all became guards because they took an arrow to the knee. And sometimes if you try to surrender and lower your weapon, they will still attack you. Although if you attack a civilian, this usually stops that, but still, they're aggressive. And there's a lot. And at number 4 is wildlife. What kind of list would this be if we didn't touch on all the ways to die by wildlife in video games? So this number is encompassing a whole lot of games here. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Mountain lions in GTA 5. Randomly generated and completely absurd hostile creatures, including fish, in No Man's Sky. Pretty much everything in Skyrim, including giant spiders. Fun. And my personal favorite, death by bear in Red Dead Redemption. Doesn't matter how far in the game you progress as John Marston, no matter what, if a bear gets you, you're likely done for good. Although there are some guns that can blast them away if you get a shot in. Incredibly frustrating? Damn right. Realistic? Yeah. Incredibly frustrating? Definitely. And at number 3 is Eaten by Rats from Dishonored. Dishonored takes place in a city called Dunwall, an industrial city being ravaged by a plague and rat infestation, which has wiped out half of the city's population. So naturally, they're an annoying threat to keep in mind. And it gets pretty brutal sometimes. These rats seem to have taken a liking for human flesh, which is super unsettling, but still pretty useful if you're not the one being eaten. You can learn a spell in Dishonored Corvo called Ravenous Horde that actually lets you summon a rat horde, which does this. Oh, doesn't that look like a fun time? And at number 2 is missing the leap of faith from any Assassin's Creed game. In the Assassin's Creed games, a leap of faith is one of the more impressive abilities available to your free-running hero, in which you dive off an immensely high structure and land unharmed into cushioning material. Typically hay. It's a pretty fun maneuver to do. But sometimes that leap of faith can really test your faith and turn to a total fail. And finally at number 1 is the eye poke machine from Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 is a sci-fi horror survival video game that came out in 2011. In one part of the game, in order to progress, protagonist Isaac has to enter this terrifying eye-poking machine. And in order to survive, you need to line up the laser precisely with Isaac's eye, then lower the needle down real slow so it can be properly injected into his eyeball. But of course, Isaac is kind of freaking out and moving his eyes around quite a bit, making it quite a challenge. I mean, can you blame him? I'd be terrified too if I was in his shoes. So if you fail to do this, the machine gets sinister on your ass, impaling his eye, causing him to scream, and then the machine is like, whoa there buddy. There we have it, friends. What other dumb deaths have you guys encountered in video games that should have made this list? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know. And if you dug this video, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. But for now, I'm Kelly Pally for Top 10 Gaming, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.